Good afternoon, garden friends. I've been down and out for the last week and a half, but I want to be able to work in my arbor garden. I'll turn the camera around. There's a lot of cleaning up that needs to be done. I'm going to be transplanting plants from other locations into this bed because I've moved some items out of this bed. But we got some decent weather, and I need this vitamin D from the sun to sort of help me speed up my recovery. But I want to be able to get in here, get these beds cleaned up, some new compost put on, get those plants that I'm transplanting over here in the ground, because we once again, I think they said Tuesday, Wednesday, are going to be having some freezing temperatures, and I want to be able to get them in the ground. But let me turn my camera around, show you what I'm going to be cleaning up in this bed. All right, like I said, I'm going to be working in the arbor garden here, getting everything that is dead cut back, trimmed up. My climbing rose here, which is called a golden shower. And guys, it gets these beautiful yellow, huge roses on it. And we have been training it. So I'm going to get anything that's dead cut off of here. And then inside, I have my ornamental grass that is dying back like it's supposed to, but I also have daffodil bulbs in here. Just want to get things cleaned up in this bed, give it a fresh haircut, get my penstemon. I have some echinaceas. I have some more tall woodland phlox that's going to be going in here, and just getting this area cleaned up. Put a nice coat of compost as I am cleaning up, and it's just mainly around, the plants that are in here. And then I will get this bed mulched up. But guys, like I said, just really want to get this cleaned up. Now, part of the cleanup is me going ahead and getting my muley grass cut back, and then also my larapi. I just more or less shaped up anything that's dead, cut back. And this is the thing with the muley grass, I'm going to leave about 12 to 16 inches on here. The goal is to protect the crown. That's why you go 12 to 18 inches. Now next year, I will more than likely thin this out and find another location to put it, because it's just so beautiful. There you go. I will do the same thing with the larapi just to shape it up, but still leave some on because we're supposed to be getting more freezing temperatures. So let me go ahead and get these guys all trimmed up and then get the plants that I've transplanted from another area over here. Now, one thing that I did have in here was is Invincible Mini Mauvette. I had 2 of them. Just got the quart containers, had them planted, but because of the cold weather that we've had, I'm gonna dig those guys up, pot them up in a pot, and put them in my greenhouse since that is heated. And I just think they're too little to be out here dealing with this extremely cold weather that we're having. So let me go ahead and get the larapi cut and these other shrubs shaped up, and then I'll get back on, show you what it looks like, and go ahead and get these other plants planted in here. And you can see with this crazy weather, my daffodils are starting to come up, but when I put a coat of mulch on here, it'll protect it for those days that we're supposed to be getting below freezing. But this is incredible mini Mauvette. You see, it's tiny. So I'm gonna dig that up, put it in a pot, and put it in the greenhouse. Let it get a little bit bigger, and then might just grow it in a pot, because they only get 2 to 3 feet tall and wide. And then look at that, guys, how the frost just demolished my tick seeds. So I'm gonna go ahead and get that cleaned up. Same thing with my woodland phlox, just getting the dead stuff cut off, because underneath there I have new growth. But I'm gonna leave some of the dead stuff on there to take the brunt of the freeze, and then go ahead and get my gregarias and my peonies cut back. All right, so these are the Invincible Mini Mauvettes that I took out of the ground, and I'm going to store them in the greenhouse, because I do think it's just a little too cold, especially for as small as they were, so keep them in there until early spring, and then I will transplant them to pots. The color is that even here in Georgia, which is part of the reason why I love them so. Now, I did find these. Hold on. I have no idea what these are, but if you look at it, they got like shoots off of it. I thought they were straw flowers, because I recall planting some where now they are behind the greenhouse, and I'm going to be moving them into the center bed because they'll get more sun. But I'm going to have to wait until they bloom just to confirm that they are straw flowers. But that's gardening, We built the greenhouse with the hope of creating some shade for my hostas and Lenten roses, but I had some things back there that could handle the sun, so I'm just moving them and utilizing them elsewhere in the garden. Okay, so I got the bed all cleaned out. Right there is a echinacea. It's like a giant echinacea that I had moved from another bed. Those 2 plants that I had dug up from the other bed, like I said, I do think that they are straw flowers, so they will definitely get the sun that's needed. The penstemon, and then another woodland phlox, tall woodland phlox. But I did get everything trimmed back and it looks so nice. Now, what I'm going to do is on both sides of the pathway, I got some compost and manure mix. I'm going to line both sides of it up so that I can go ahead and plant the purple and the, what do you want to call it? Tangerine pansies. I think that's going to look really pretty. I did not want to put a lot of color in here because, you know, this time of year, there's not a lot of color in any garden that is in these zones that I'm in. So let's go ahead and get the compost on both sides. I'll get these guys placed and then in the ground and then go ahead and get this bed mulched. Okay, so I did get that side of the bed done before I had to take a break. Guys, I tell you what, this cold is just really kicking my butt. But I was able to go ahead and get everything trimmed. I mean, I even trimmed back my pixie. And those 2 days of freezing did a number on it. But so now what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and on this side of the walkway, put some compost mix and then go ahead and get the pansies lined up over here, get this bed mulched, and then I'm going to tackle my climbing rose. Get anything that is that has the rose hips on it, get it sort of strapped to the arbor so that this will be all done. I'll put some more compost and mulch in here. And then I also have an extra gregaria that I'm going to put on each side of these roses. Okay, so my arbor garden is fully cleaned up. And even here in January, and us being in a zone 8, you can still make a statement in your garden. Now, most of my perennials are going into dormancy. So the garden isn't about like big blooms, bold colors. This is about having structure, texture, and healthy greens, as you can see. As I stated, to bring in a pop of color, I did line up the sides of the walkway with some seasonal colors of pansies. And like I said before, we are in January. Perennials are in dormancy. Underneath the ground, my daffodils are starting to pop up. But right now, this is about allowing my garden to thrive in our winter conditions and instantly lifting the space without fighting the natural rhythm of the garden. Now, a lot of my plants in here are less than a year old, but I took into account what their ultimate size will be so that I can maintain strong air circulation all year round. The spacing was intentional because I don't deal with powdery mildew or any type of fungal issues. You know, as we learned in the Master Garden class, right plant, right place. And that is also placement to ensure that when your plants do get to their full maturity, you still have the air circulation to have a very healthy, vibrant garden. Now, my garden is resting, but it is still working in preparation for the spring. And I did end up removing all of the rose hips off. I left some of the leaves on it because we're supposed to be getting possibly another freeze. But you know what, guys? The beauty of this is as I look at my rose canes, do you guys see all of those buds? that are on there. This is going to look gorgeous. And then that was my gregaria that I moved. It's purple that I put one on each side. And I think having that purple with the yellow of the golden shower climbing rose is going to look absolutely gorgeous. Like I said, not a lot of color in here, but man, I can see it. I can see how when spring comes, how these guys are going to just burst with color. You know, my ruffled peonies that I have here, those guys are in dormancy, but they are early bloomers. So I'm excited to see the ruffling flowers of the white and the pink over here. All right, while I am still struggling with this cold, it was really good to be able to come in here and get my arbor garden cleaned up, add a little pop of color with the pansies. Well, like I said, I cannot wait until the spring to see the garden come alive. And it's just about taking the time, you know, to keep things cleaned up, keep things trimmed back so that, you know, you can end up having a very healthy and vibrant garden. Well, garden friends, thank you again for visiting Inspiring Garden Corner. And I hope you enjoyed seeing what I ended up doing in the garden with my goal of having a beautiful entranceway into that area.